Angeles. He's probably, I'm trying to figure out if he's going towards the 405. If so, then it's just going to
south.
He's going southbound. Yeah. So
he certainly is. Yeah, southbound side of the 101. 405 is about 3 or 4 exits ahead of us. We're just coming up on Reseda Boulevard, so he's got a handful of exits that he could get off of before the 405 freeway, or he could commit to the 101 freeway, or he could take the north or southbound side of the 405 freeway. He's got lots of choices here, and he's going to have to make some important decisions here. As you can see, that airship is right overhead. That is a
important
County,
decisions incoming.
That is following very closely right over that yellow Mustang. Ooh, did I see a little bit of a... but he's definitely a very aggressive driver in any case. He's had no problem jumping right in front of other motorists, weaving right around anybody in his way here. And of course, you can expect as we get closer to the 405 freeway, the volume is going to start to pick up. He luckily is on the southbound side. The heaviest traffic is in the northbound side on the opposite side, but both sides are pretty heavy.
Another colorful car. Yeah, what's up, Vic?
He just happens to be on the slightly lighter volume side there as he tries to get around even moderate traffic. He's showing real signs of aggressiveness.
Yo, Bolthead, what's up? And RG and El Homer and Bendo and Luis
a bit earlier, so
and Goose.
It'll be yet to be seen how aggressive he's going to take this. But right now, we don't see any Ventura
that
County
police chopper
units
was
behind
low.
him. It looks like they have fallen back slightly, just trying to keep up with him. Just a sign of how fast he's been going as he gets through Encino now.
And Chris, we're getting new information that it appears that authorities are after this driver for a shoplifting offense in Camarillo. So that is what we're getting at this
shoplifting?
point. And I want to point out the windows are tinted, so we don't know if this is a single driver or if there's a passenger or any other people in this vehicle.
It's starting to make sense why they are following this so closely and not just handing this off to California Highway Patrol. Highway Patrol was prepared to take this over. We were hearing some of the chatter, guys, just a few minutes ago, right before we came on the air. But as it turns out, Ventura County deputies right now really want this guy. Apparently, he is wanted for ramming
I haven't
Ventura
changed my live notification
where the
yet.
shoplifting crime occurred. So by ramming that sheriff's deputy, you can imagine the pressure on this guy now. They are not going to let him
Chase
get
Part
too
2,
far.
different color car. Yeah, I mean, it
Helicopter
looks
is
the
gonna stay right
same.
overhead.
Almost, just different color, right?
They have to do to catch
Shoplifting not that bad. I know, right?
They need the assistance from
Something going on
Highway
here.
Patrol. Certainly, they will get it. But in any event, this is now more than just shoplifting. That is assault with a deadly weapon on a law enforcement officer.
Okay, so they hit a cop car with their car?
Confirmed now information that this was indeed apparently a collision with a law enforcement officer as he was
Yeah, if you hit a cop car with your car, that's assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer.
Some more puzzle pieces to the story here, but again, you can see him resorting to that right shoulder as he gets closer
I know,
to the
Silas.
405 freeway.
How are you?
Encino, passing Haskell Avenue now. The next exit is going to be the 405 freeway.
yeah, he or she has exponentially made their situation worse, going from shoplifting to potentially some sort of a threat with a deadly weapon on an officer. So, and then evading arrest. And here he is. I guess he's trying to get over to the 405. This is one of the worst places to possibly be on a freeway.
All right, let's do a prediction.
Sure is, and now he's getting on the southbound
Does that sound like
Probably
fun?
the smart move there. If he stayed on the 101 freeway, things were going to come to a dead stop. Now he's going
You guys like that?
On the
All right, it's up.
freeway at, what are we talking about, 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Now, thankfully for him, all of the rush hour traffic is fleeing northbound on the 405 freeway. So once again, he's getting real lucky.
Superwin, what's up?
Lose the vehicle,
Indeed, what's up?
You could just widen out
Shy Girl
just a
Kim,
little
what's
bit
up?
and show what we're looking at here off the nose through the Sepulveda Pass. It is bumper-to-bumper traffic on the northbound side. On the side that he's on the southbound side, he's got the whole freeway to himself here. So let's see how fast he presses that gas pedal, because right now he's got all 7 lanes of the 405 freeway to himself.
Yeah, and remarkably, we always say this, Giovanna, but when
Did you see that they eventually lost? That's what I heard, man. I didn't see it, but I heard that.
405 surprises you, and it's light like this. This happens to me often, but it does get very sticky when you get closer to like the Wilshire exit and Sunset Avenue, the 10 freeway. So he's going to enjoy this light traffic just for a short time.
How are you? Good. Everything's good.
As he gets closer to
once he gets to the west side, it's a different story.
Yes, absolutely. So,
how are you doing, Dee?
Are you seeing patrol cars following him? How closely are they following? if at all?
So we still don't have any visual.
Yeah, I haven't seen a
of
single
law
cop car.
enforcement behind him. They may have gotten stuck in a little bit of that traffic. They may not be that far behind, but certainly he has
Okay,
put
you
some
still got some
distance between
time.
him
It looks
and
like
those
almost
primary
there's
units.
almost
I can
no
tell you
channel
that
points on no.
LAPD's helicopter
And I gotta tell
is
you,
now
that's not
joining the
very
pursuit.
wise.
So we now have 2 law
Gotta
enforcement
tell you.
helicopters right overhead here as he gets in the car.
The odds are this is going to end before 15 minutes. Okay, I hope it doesn't, but I'm just saying.
Crossing over the freeway, he's got a lot of eyes on him, and it's only going to increase as we get into
What's up,
West
Beal?
LA here. He
I
is
guess
not
so.
going to get very far, especially considering the charges that
People
we
are pretty
hearing
bullish
about
on
here.
yes
Apparently,
right now.
Ventura County's organized retail theft team is the department that's working this case.
Okay.
They were the ones responding to that.
All the
shoplifting
predictions have
at
been
the
locked
Target
in.
Camarillo, and you can see a wealth of resources now dedicated to getting this guy, not only getting him off the road.
All right, hey, Superwin, are there more of them up there? Or you think that there's another news station up there?
Retail theft, and you know the pressure on law enforcement to put these guys behind bars in the climate that we have seen. And now you can see him fleeing, trying to enjoy these final minutes of freedom here, because until that car either sputters out here out of gas
Hey, Shinji,
or
what's up?
ends in some other collision, we'll see what happens. But in any event, this will end up.
Clear
with that
Joker predicts there will be
suspect.
more
it'll be
chases this
interesting to
weekend.
see if
I mean,
are more
there
than
was 2 in one day. There was
suspect
one
in
yesterday,
this
right? That was
vehicle. As you said,
yesterday?
it was an
Yeah.
organized theft ring.
Yesterday.
It's possible that there's
Right,
more
yeah.
than just the one driver.
Not only possible, it's highly likely. I would say
yes.
I would put my money probably on at least one other person in that car. We can't say that for sure, but
At least
just
one
a
other
good-
person.
Really good guess on your part there, Giovanna. And also, you notice those heavily tinted windows, which really make it impossible to see.
What did the person
through,
shoplift? You know,
those windows. So we
they
really
also
don't
hit a
know for
police
sure.
officer
However, the
with
helicopter
their car.
may be
I mean,
able
they
to
hit a
tell. In
police
fact,
car.
The information probably
That
is
just
well known to law
ramps it up,
enforcement.
you
They
know?
probably have a good idea on the number of suspects. We don't have that number, but I would venture to say that you're probably right. Probably more than one person.
He's got
But
his
to push
turn
back in
signal
on that
on,
hood
yeah.
there, I'm very curious. There was something flying in the wind, some kind of a strap or something coming off of the hood there.
Yeah, there's
Trying
some,
to
like,
identify
piece
what
of
that is.
something
Really
that's
hard to
loose.
make it out. Some kind of either a rope or a strap. Something is flapping. I was just trying to see if we could.
Yes, we
Yeah,
see
RZ,
what
what's up with that? It's like we just got a chase with a
a
sports car that was a funny color yesterday.
Lanes at his disposal here, hugging that HOV lane.
X-Class causing booty calls? Dude, I didn't get one yet. Controller, what's up?
He's going to have pretty easy-going traffic.
Mystical,
here
you're
through
asking what's up with the
Sunset,
chases. Well,
down
in the
past
Twitch chat, they're
Wilshire,
saying
and
that it's
then
the
once he
solar
gets,
flares.
Closer to the 10 freeway, like you said there, Giovanna, that is going to be the pressure point where things are going to start to
Which I
lock
know
up.
that's a real
The
thing.
other question I have is, was anyone
Like
hurt? You might not have the
apparently in
answer to this,
certain
but was
places in
anyone
the
hurt
in the
when you
continent
rammed
here,
that
you can
sheriff's
see the
deputy
Aurora
vehicle
stuff
outside
today.
the Target? Do we know that?
Can see the
Great
northern
question,
lights.
And the answer is we don't know, and quite possibly somebody may have been. You just never know. If he was, we don't know if it was a violent collision where he really rammed the officer hard, or if it was a little bumper tap there. We just
Ram
don't have
that officer
information.
hard,
So
man.
Right now, that remains an open question.
And also,
Fox is coming on
whether or
now.
not
All right,
there was
thanks.
damage on
I
his car,
appreciate
maybe
it.
that's what that strap or rope is on his hood. Could that be
Yeah.
something from the collision with the police car?
Certainly possible, although just looking at the general shape of this vehicle, we don't see any really obvious signs of damage. So, you know, you kind of lean towards a less serious collision, but really hard to tell just from the little information that we have here. In any event, still sticking with that carpool lane, making his way through Brentwood here, southbound side of the 405 freeway, coming up on Wilshire, where traffic is going to start to slow down right there.
Stolen?
Right after Wilshire Boulevard.
Apparently
Let's see if
they
he even
stole
thinks
some
about
stuff
getting
from a
off the
store. They
Wilshire,
didn't steal the
because
car.
if he has any idea
That's
what's ahead of
supposedly
him,
shoplifting.
He would be smart to either think about Wilshire or potentially Santa Monica Boulevard, but even Santa Monica.
But then the bigger thing is
traffic
that
on the
they hit a cop
405
car
is
and
already slowing down, and you can see him now getting.
Guy
up
had
to the
that turn
left
signal
shoulder
on
there.
this
That's
whole time,
because
man.
All of the 405 southbound is now slowing
Should
down.
probably get
heavily
off the
right
freeway.
here as he gets past Wilshire Boulevard.
Yeah, and that's a narrow shoulder there.
We've
you
seen
can
this
see-
shoulder
Just
thing
looking at
go
the
wrong
window,
in like the
guys,
last
here,
week
if
or
you can hear
two,
me, I
right?
know we're having a little bit of a
Riding on the
transmission
shoulder and all of a
issue,
sudden
but
your
we are
tires
gonna
are
also
fucked.
start to see some weather obstacles for those law enforcement helicopters.
Like seriously, just all of a
in
sudden,
about the next 3 or
guy was
4
losing
miles.
tires after riding on the
He's
shoulder.
continuing down the shoulder there, bypassing
Gina's
all of
birthday,
that
is
HOV
it?
traffic. If we widen out just
I
a
don't
little
know,
bit, we can
man.
maybe confirm
That's
that
a good
there is
question.
still at this
Where's
juncture
Gina?
nobody behind them. They're going to want to try to get somebody behind him. I'm sure they are. Obviously, those initial units are trying to keep up with him, but they hopefully will be able to catch up soon here, because if they don't, even the helicopters may have a difficult time keeping up with this guy once he gets towards the LAX area with the
Oh,
marine
man,
layer
we're going to
is
have trouble
starting to
keeping up with him,
fog
too,
over
then.
the entire 405 freeway. That could pose a real
Yeah,
problem
Grand
for
Poobah.
law enforcement if this
Headed
continues
towards
down the
LAX. We're going to get
405 for the
screwed
next
on
5
this
or 6
one.
miles.
Right. The one
Which is
positive
the
is that
story
this is
of
a
most
yellow
chases, I feel
Mustang.
like.
This is an unusual car.
They
an
go somewhere
unusual
where we
color. You
can't
don't
see
a
it.
lot of these on the
blue
road.
car, we lost
So
it at the end
maybe,
almost.
they'll be, it'll be easier to find again. Sometimes we'll see a white SUV, and there's so many white SUVs on the road. This one's a little different.
Yeah, this
And
sticks
it's getting
out.
close to LAX too, which has some restrictions, as you know, flight restrictions for helicopters like yourself.
Yeah, I
And
don't
that
know why
could
he
be
tried to
tricky.
get out
If
of
this
the
person
off
knows
the
what
shoulder. You
he
can't
or
go
she
anywhere,
is
man.
doing, maybe driving to that
You might.
could
It
create
might
some
be worth trying to
opportunities
get off,
for
though.
them
You're just
get
going to have to
away.
cross the entire freaking freeway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation because instantly
Yeah, sharp
law
stuff out there,
enforcement will be
RG.
left with nothing other than those
All right,
units
I think he's
going
gonna
to
make a run for it. Like, try to get out. Try to hit that,
Could potentially fade
exit.
into the marine layer, unfortunately.
Don't fade
I
into
don't
the
know
marine.
exactly
Man,
what
all
the
these
ceiling is
scenarios they're
over
talking
there.
about,
Dan,
fade
what
into
would you
marine
say,
layer,
maybe
go to the
about
airport.
600 feet down there?
We can't see the end of this
500 or
chase
600 feet.
if he
Yeah,
does that.
It's certainly possible they may give the go-ahead to fly under there, but they have to get permission from LAX, and then they have to decide whether it's within their
Okay.
limitations. Now, the marine
Let's
layer
get the
kind
bingo
of
card.
ends right over the 405, so perhaps
We got no
they,
fly
or
zone
perhaps
already.
even we will be able to keep eyes on it with our long extreme vision
Tracking
here
mode.
on Air 7, but it's going to be challenging to say the least here once he gets south of the 10 freeway. Right now,
3
he's
choppers
approaching
now? Okay.
Olympic Boulevard. You can see him getting over to the right. Is he
Get out,
he's
get
over
out,
the goal
go.
point, just trying to get around
No.
traffic here, not taking the exit ramp just yet.
Damn,
Personnel
okay.
units in sight.
It's smarter to stay on the right shoulder.
Unfortunately, no. We just don't see any yet. We've been looking out for any sign of CHP or those initial Ventura County deputies who
jeez.
did chase this suspect all the way
Dude, he's
going
gonna
to
get his tires fucked up doing stuff like that.
And that seems to be right around, once he got into the San Fernando Valley is where they seem to have fallen back and maybe even, definitely have lost visual on the ground. The units
The last
up
chase in
above
Encousin
still
Marine
have
Lair?
good
Man, I don't
eyes
even
on him, as you
remember.
mentioned. Very hard to miss that bright yellow
That's happened a
Mustang.
handful of times.
He's doing about 50 miles per hour on the shoulder here, and at some point, you imagine that he might figure out that, this time of the day might not be the best time to stay on the freeway, and he may, by default, just resort to
mean,
one of those exit ramps. So we'll see what happens here.
You can't
He's
outrun a
right
chopper. I mean,
underneath, 10 freeway
the
here, so it looks like
motorcycles
he is
can,
committed
dude, and they
to the
do
405 south,
sometimes.
at least for now.
But yeah, I mean, this
And
car's not
sometimes
outrunning
we
a chopper.
hear that authorities will call off a pursuit if they believe the driver his behavior is too erratic.
And certainly
or
not
dangerous,
right now on
but
this
nothing of
freaking
that sort
freeway.
yet, right?
I don't know why they insist on staying
Hey
there.
there, Giovanna. Sorry about that. I was just getting some more information. Can you repeat the question?
I was just asking.
I mean,
do
it
we know
doesn't
for
matter.
Sure that police are still in pursuit of this vehicle.
The
I know
cops aren't going to get him,
helicopter
but they're also
is,
not going to get
but
away.
Have they called off the road pursuit?
Right now, California Highway Patrol is in the middle of a shift change, and they are trying to get into position. Now that he's stuck in this much traffic,
He could outrun the
CHP
chopper.
is gonna
Yeah.
have to fight their
I
way
think in the
through this
perfect
traffic. Obviously,
scenario,
with
I
the
bet
three
this
lights
car
and sirens
could.
blaring to hopefully clear
Like, the
path for
choppers
them,
can go
but
like
it's still gonna be a
160 or
challenge to get
something like
into
that.
this area with
So,
all of the traffic that
I
we've
mean,
seen
what's the
in
top
last
speed
half
on a
mile.
Mustang?
You called it, Giovanna. Once he passed Wilshire Boulevard,
Like, if he was just
that
driving
really,
straight somewhere, he could probably
a
outrun
milestone
it,
because
right?
the traffic here on the freeway has
Shift
come
change,
to a dead
yeah.
stop, and CHP is going to be faced with that same traffic. Now,
Can't
Ventura
fight
County
crime, gotta
deputies
clock
are
out.
still trying to fight traffic as well,
Yeah,
but they have fallen
gotta
too
go
far
home.
back, and right now we're hearing that LAPD is not getting involved at this point.
Mystical,
At
what's
least
up?
not yet. They don't have the resources
MKRQ,
to
welcome.
dedicate right now. They do have their helicopter helping out, so at least they're able to see
We're
going to
hit the
with their
15 minutes. It looks like it's
infrared
gonna
technology.
happen. I
They're
wish they
able
wouldn't show us
to call out
replays,
the
though.
location, at least for the next couple of miles. But once air traffic becomes a concern and the marine layer becomes an obstacle, things could change here. But I have a feeling
Yellow
we may
does
see him
stick out.
attempt to exit the freeway.
This is not the
a
ideal
little bit
getaway vehicle
sooner,
for a police chase,
but
I'll say
there's
that.
still marine layer issues,
I don't know why we're
you know,
watching replays, dude.
across
Nothing.
West
It's
LA
the
right now,
same.
Inglewood,
You're
all
showing
the way
us him
north
riding on
into
the
Santa
shoulder,
Monica. The
and then
entire
on the other
Westside
one, he's still
is
just riding on the
rapidly,
shoulder.
fogging up
Like,
now.
what
So you
is
can see him
the
using
point
that
of this
right
replay?
shoulder,
Earlier,
slowing
he was
down a
doing the
little bit, at
same
least,
thing he's
just trying
doing
to
right
get around
now.
all of this rush hour
Come on,
traffic.
guys.
It's been a while since we've seen a really
Shit.
serious pursuit through very heavy traffic.
Is that
like
really
this. And it's a
necessary?
really nerve-wracking situation for everybody involved. And in this situation,
Oh, man,
it's
I hate
actually
this.
the last thing law enforcement
Just
wants
stop
to see
showing
without
the
knowing
dude.
just how dangerous and desperate the suspect
It's the
is.
same.
Because if he resorts
It's the
to
same
even more
thing.
aggressive or erratic driving, obviously you have the potential of people getting
Jamie,
hurt,
what's up?
especially when you're talking about
I hate
rush
replays.
hour on a Friday afternoon.
I'll try
in
to
the
stop
middle
talking
of
about
a
it. Stop
very
being so negative.
congested 405 freeway. You just don't know what the
Okay, we hit
person
15
behind that
minutes.
wheel is capable of. So right now we're just crossing our fingers, hoping that he starts to
Congratulations to
calm down. Maybe
everyone
his
who
adrenaline starts to come down a little
got
bit,
that
and
right.
he can think twice.
30
about
minutes? I don't know,
continuing
man.
this
It
dangerous
seems.
adventure down the
I mean, at
405
this rate,
freeway
it's going to
with all
last
of the
freaking
eyes on him.
forever.
But of course, you know.
What's up, Kenny?
We
Yeah, you
already
can't go
know
yet.
that he's wanted for shoplifting and assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. So
It-
you know, at this rate,
His tires
you know,
are gonna
you
get
have
fucked.
to assume the worst.
It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
If it
Okay,
hasn't
so we
already.
know that the CHP is in a shift change, so they might be showing up at any moment with a presence. But Ventura, the Ventura County organized retail theft team, they are leaving it to the CHP at this
Yogi,
point.
yo, welcome.
Well, they are trying to catch up. Everybody's trying to catch
Wait,
up.
it's
Now, he's
is
coming
Kenny's?
up
Is it
on
really?
Venice Boulevard,
Is that fake
And
news?
we'll see if he actually decides to take this
Big
exit.
day?
If
Is
I
that
was
same
him,
as birthday? Kenny,
I
is
would
it your
take that
birthday?
exit. This guy, a little more unpredictable and not thinking very clearly. In fact,
Kenny
he's going
turned
right over the
29
road.
today?
It looks like he wants to stay on the 405 freeway. He had Venice Boulevard, Washington Boulevard. It looks like he's bypassing all of those. The next freeway is going to be the 90 freeway.
That's right.
And that will be a real opportunity for him.
He just
because
says
the
big
90
day 'cause
freeway
of- oh,
is
that's not
always
nice.
a wide open freeway. It never really gets too
They missed him
crowded,
hitting the two
especially,
cars? Yeah, I
well,
mean, I
just
don't think they
never
were there
gets that
yet,
crowded. So,
right?
he will have an entire freeway to play with
But
if he
not for
decides to
long.
get off there.
Right, but not for long because it ends at
yeah.
Lincoln, and then he's going to be stuck on Lincoln.
You're talking
traffic.
about earlier
And
before
you
this?
don't want to be stuck on Lincoln traffic on a Friday afternoon. So
Most
that
of these
is a great
service
point. And
streets-
yeah, unfortunately though, if he does take it
I wish
west,
Eliana was on
he
this.
will lose all the helicopters because I'm looking at the right side here, and it is a solid
there
bank
it
of
is.
clouds.
Oh, this is not
as far
good.
As far as all the way out to the beach. So, I mean, if he does take the 90
Okay.
freeway, unfortunately, he may very well get away. Still, even at this juncture,
Yeah, I
we are
feel,
not
you know,
seeing
there's a
anybody
decent
behind
chance
him.
this
You
guy gets
know
away.
They are trying.
For
They
now.
are making every attempt to get units in position here. But right now, the call to hold off CHP earlier in this pursuit may prove to be a mistake. At one point, CHP was ready to take this over.
Oh, no.
And Ventura County basically declined
Okay,
the help. They basically said,
Fox
"Listen,
is
we've
on
got
it as
this.
well.
We've got
So at least we got to
units
back up. I think this
we have
one's
the
perfectly good
helicopter
right
up,
now,
We're
though.
good. And then they lost them. And that's when the helicopter basically took over, and now there are no units behind him, especially with
No
all the
units.
traffic here. So there might be some Monday morning quarterbacking here. In any event, everybody is
During
working
the jam?
cooperatively to try
I missed it
and
too,
get
then?
into position here. You can see him now hugging that right shoulder. This would be the
Fucking replays? Is that what it was
the path
first?
of least resistance
They killed us with
to
the
90
replays?
freeway if he
Always.
chooses to take it.
Right, and we are seeing that marine layers really change everything here for us. Even our
They
visibility,
think they're
your
so
visibility
clever with their
is
replays and
affected,
whatever big
Staying
production.
on the 405.
Yeah.
Don't
If you
show
stay on the
this, dude.
405,
Come on,
it'll be easier
man.
to track 'em.
I just don't want them
Well,
ever to
it
do
will.
this
In
stuff.
fact,
Can I just get like the raw feed
clouds
from the
thin out
helicopter?
a little bit. So we're gonna make every attempt to get over this cloud bank here, and we may lose visual for a short time, but hopefully not.
Can
for
we
long.
just
The
not do
marine
that?
layer is still holding
Fox
over
isn't
the Playa
doing that.
Vista area,
So
and hasn't really
actually-
crossed over the 405 just yet. So
Actually,
LAX is
let's switch
socked
to
in.
Fox.
Playa Vista is pretty
I'm
much
just
socked in,
not-
but he's
I'm just
taking this
not
405
into that
southbound
split
straight
screen
past,
bullshit.
The airport.
And then
He's
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
turn this
through
on and they're gonna
Inglewood if
start
he
doing it
continues
too,
down
but
the 405
for now.
freeway, which he does seem to be.
This is a pretty heavy overcast there working his way along, but they'll keep the local law enforcement agencies informed of the location to where if he gets
It
off
was
the
during the
freeway,
replays.
goes to
Damn
the foot,
replays.
they're able to set up a perimeter pretty quick. But this driver really using the gore points and the shoulders to get around this traffic and keep up the speeds, but I haven't seen one.
Yeah,
black
Kenny
and white
needs to hurry up.
anywhere
I'm-
near him at this point, and that's not unusual for the speed.
I'm
and the
technically
manner in
working
which
right
this,
now.
person is driving.
Yeah, although they
So,
do have helicopters.
You
up
don't
in
see
the
this,
air,
guys, but on
in
my other
addition to
screen
our
here, I'm doing
helicopters, so
all
we're
kinds of
keeping an eye on this
important
person.
stuff, okay?
Yeah, if you're looking at
Laruski,
this
what's up?
weather
Yeah, it's
pattern
foggy.
and you're
It's the
watching us
marine
right
layer.
now from, say, Riverside or
Extremely
part of the
important
San
work
Fernando
happening on my
Valley, Woodland
other,
Hills, and you're like, what is that?
on my other monitor.
Westside has really been socked in in recent days, and we see this thick.
The driver
marine
thinks he
layer,
can win. Mystical, I mean, he
especially at
could.
times like this in areas like Westchester. We've seen it from our LAX cam as we get near LAX now.
I think it's not completely
and,
unrealistic.
that makes it more
He's managed to
challenging
find a
for the
marine layer
helicopter
here,
to
and it's
even
making
keep
it
an eye
very
on
tough for
this
all the
person, and you
choppers.
see how
And he's
thick,
managed to drive in a way that the
this,
police don't want to
these
be behind
clouds
him.
are. So now we're getting real close to the LAX.
Why they
area,
never go in
probably
these big
near
shopping malls? They
Howard Hughes here,
do.
and we'll see if the driver
They do.
continues to stay
But I think it's
on the
probably
freeway
not
or
a
decides
bad
to
strategy.
get
But like
off.
part of the problem is there's so many
Yeah,
cameras.
here
I don't
is
know,
the
man.
edge of the,
These people aren't that
surface area
smart,
for
you know.
LAX, so the Fox,
Looking at
the
ABGs and
helicopter will
K-pop
not be
girls,
able to
yeah,
go past
watching
that point.
e-girls
The law enforcement
and
helicopters, if
K-pop
traffic
stuff
lets
is
it, they
hard work.
should
Oh,
let them
exiting.
through, but you see an awful lot here.
Tim,
That's why they pay
exiting
me the big
freeway
bucks,
here
Kenny.
in the Westchester area. This is the first we've seen this driver get off the 405 freeway. Wondering if
Right.
this driver has a familiarity with the area, or perhaps
Switch
is
to the
realizing that
co-work.
it's going to be bumper to bumper for a long time. Now,
Oh.
again, this was in Ventura
Okay, we're off the
County
freeway.
that this started. So, Tim,
Let's go.
Your thoughts on this driver getting off the freeway?
I feel like the helicopter's
Well,
far
he
as
probably
fuck
knows
away
where
right
he's
now.
going now, because this takes him down into that north complex of LAX and into the
Really
the,
far away right
area,
now.
which gets
So far
very
right now.
tight down in here.
Smart.
So getting in
Needs
here,
an
you have to be very
altitude drone
familiar
or
with the
blimp?
roads down in this
Yo,
point. If
blimp
not,
would-
you're going to get trapped in.
A
So,
blimp, please,
you know,
Chase.
jurisdictions mean nothing nowadays with the mobility of the crooks that are coming
Hell
out
yeah.
from Brazil to come up here and do crimes, coming from the far inland empire to do crimes, and coming out of LA to go up to Ventura.
I'm
to do
surprised those
something
tires
that's not
lasted. I mean, I'm
unusual, and
assuming that they're
racing its
still
way back
going
now,
well
not here.
enough,
This is
but
gonna take him
you
right
drive on
down
the
the
shoulder
north
that
border
long, you tend to
of LAX,
hit something
and it
you
gets
shouldn't be
pretty
driving
tight
over.
and pretty congested as we get
It's
a
just
little
how it
further
goes.
west here. And as you said,
I've seen it many
Alex,
times.
The marine layer is not fun. You see the LA area ship flying through there. It's really low. It's been low, like you said, all week long here, and very thick along the coastline. So they're going to have to deal with that in the police helicopter as well.
Yeah, I
as
mean,
he
'cause-
forces his way through.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
because we know that our helicopters, and if somebody was really smart and really planned this thing out, you would drive so wildly that they end up in tracking mode, which means you only got the helicopter following you. And then if you go into,
He's rocking
LAX
run flat. He might
territory,
be.
Our helicopters can't follow you. And you got
We
this
saw
thick
this car
marine
like
layer.
last week drive
Do
on the shoulder
police
for a little while, and then all of a
helicopters
sudden the
have
tires
same
started
restrictions
falling
as our
off.
news helicopters when it comes to LAX restricted airspace?
Are they? Yeah. Okay. So
The
we're in
LA
restricted
tower, LA
airspace.
controllers will give the PD a little more room to work, a little
No
bigger
fly
area
zone.
to come in, because they work every day with those pilots, and the pilots have a letter of agreement with the tower on where they can and cannot operate. But yeah, there are certain points of they call the critical areas. Well, they'll not let them fly through. And as we continue down Airport Way, this is taking him back down south towards the final approaches now for the runway 24 complex or the north side complex. And there's a certain point where
This
it becomes
Tim
a
Lynn dude,
critical
law
area.
enforcement. Whoa.
Oh man.
He might have hit that car.
Dangerous.
As he works his way down, they're going to stop.
Our
the
guy
LAPD
Tim knows all the
helicopter from
buzzwords,
going
all
any
the
further
terms.
South, because now he's getting into the critical
Harry,
area
what's
for
up?
those approaches into the north complex. But what the PD helicopter can do is, if it has to deal with
Dude.
this crime, right through that red light.
Oh man, I thought that
If
was
it
gonna
has
go
to deal with this
so
cloud
badly.
layer, they could be
That
able
was
to climb up and
close.
stay over the top of it. But I'm sure the news helicopters, they're going to keep them completely out. Matter of fact, there is an agreement that the news helicopters will not operate in what they call the surface area.
The surface
of
area.
LAX
Thanks,
while
Tim.
a pursuit is in
There's an
progress. But
agreement.
going on the Century Boulevard now back towards the 405 freeway. This is really good. He looks like he's on the. No, he's good. Well, I thought he was on the opposite side of the street. But
Maybe he doesn't
yeah, this will
know.
take him back.
I don't
Yeah,
usually
maybe
like
not,
guys
but
like
he's heading his way
Tim.
back towards the,
But I believe I think this is
405
probably on
freeway, but the
CBS right now
traffic is gonna be
too.
horrible here on
Maybe that would be.
Century heading back that
Nah,
way.
that probably shows replays.
Well, you make an interesting point about the crime tourism that we've been covering this year a lot of.
Oh.
Where you have people coming
Yeah,
from
it's on
foreign
CBS as
countries,
well.
like countries in South America. to
we could
Los
probably hear
Angeles
somebody in
just
the
to
helicopter
commit
over
some of
there,
these
but I'm
home
just gonna stick here for
invasions
now.
and burglaries and robberies. Tim,
I think they're a little
do you
ahead
find
over
that
there, so
they
please,
drive a
nobody
fancy car
spoil.
like this?
Ahead by a
this
few
is not
seconds.
something that is kind of blends in.
You know, you never know what they drive. You never know what they're going to be in.
Oh, there's the police.
and the fact
Oh,
that
there
right
we go.
there at CHP.
Why are they getting out of the
behind
car?
me, but there's really not too much they can do. You got innocent
Yeah, there's
people
not shit you can do right
all
now.
over the place, or they're not going to make an approach and put that person in the dark car in any hazardous. But
He's
back
stuck in
to the,
traffic, yeah.
Type of car they use. It all depends what they get their hands.
He's just
on.
like everybody
Yeah,
else.
Yellow high performance vehicle is not a great.
The chopper's
vehicle to do a
managed to get in
robbery
really good
in, or
position
do
now.
Something of sort you want to blend in because you're going to stick out. Normally you see them in the grays and the whites, and for every car down there's like that, but this yellow sticks out. And
Fox
there's
News.
a lot of these
It's not
folks,
Fox
they're
News, but
not thinking that far ahead.
That's funny.
Yeah, who knows what their background is, what their association is. And,
It's just our police friend guy here, Tim, who's doing
it.
it.
By ramming the vehicle.
Our former
And now
police
doing
officer,
the,
Tim.
commercial
You know what they
tax
should do? They
burglary
should
during,
call
I guess
me.
it was
Stop
during the
calling
day of some
Tim. Tim
place
can
up
tell
there
you
in
all about the
Ventura.
agreements between the
You're dealing with
choppers
some
and
violent people here. Now,
the
there's
airport and
problem
whatever,
with
but he's
the
not very
guy gonna have
entertaining
issues
at
with
all.
because they're not going to let him get
Tim has
any
no
further
riz.
into the approach corridor. So hopefully you'll see him pop out here on the other side of the 405 freeway here on Century. There's looks like a motorcycle unit, but anyway.
Okay, there he is.
Man,
Are you sure that's the right yellow car?
Gotta be, right?
Maybe not. But it makes it easy, though. Being in that car makes it easier for law
Okay,
enforcement.
whoa. Okay.
Well, I can tell you right now, the cameraman's very happy for a yellow vehicle.
All right. Actually, I'm going to
Heading
switch
along,
us right now.
Imperial now. This will take you
I'm gonna
back
switch
through
us.
the north end of Hawthorne Airport's airspace, but they'll let.
This is better
as
angle.
long as he stays
Look how
south. But yeah,
fast.
blasting through the intersection.
Yeah, mismatched
Well,
bumper.
we
I think
talked
the
about-
damage was to the front driver's side of the bumper from what we saw earlier.
And I'm sure that makes we know that law enforcement even more nervous because he's in a
Tim gets
residential
negative
area
pussy,
right
he
now.
does.
Looking at all those homes on either side of the streets as he picked up.
Tim has
speed.
zero
Now he's-
bitches.
Whoa, that was close.
Whoa.
What is that, Des? Wow.
Yep.
Now on Hawthorne.
Yep. Yeah, another super busy street here with.
But this is Desmond, who is always in the
high
chopper for
speeds, but,
CBS.
we've got a lot of signals out
I
here.
prefer
You're
to
gonna
hear
have-
from
you're gonna
people
have
in the chopper.
walking around, and,
Personally.
Again, we are right here at the pretty much the busiest time of day on a Friday afternoon. Pretty much the busiest.
The people
time
in
of
the
week
studio
you
and
can
then the
try to
guys
get
that they
in
call
pursuit
on the phone,
with
I don't
law
know.
enforcement. So it really just amplifies the danger.
They just
so
don't.
much to everyone involved in this. Getting a pretty good
I don't
look
like
here
them.
inside, first time into a parking lot.
Yeah,
Are they
Eliana's the
gonna ditch
best, but I don't
vehicle?
know.
Seeing a little
She's
bit of
not
that
there yet, I
damage
guess.
here as well. Actually, now I honestly can't tell. It's just the bumper is a totally different color.
Yeah,
but
they're so dark.
Nope.
Well,
Here we go. Back out onto Lennox and Hawthorne.
Think he's
Boulevard.
going to win?
Zigzagging all over the place.
whoa,
That
man,
was
I think he's
super,
going to
super
hit
close right
somebody.
there.
This
But
car
that
just
motor
kind of
unit is
spits
still
like
right
fishtail
there.
a little bit.
So authorities are still pretty sticky with this suspect.
And real quick, you guys, I just want to let you know, we have heard that there are 2 people in the car.
I was trying to make it out.
Yeah, that's what we were just told. And actually, CHP has asked the air unit to call it and have those ground units back off a little bit, just because of
Dimitri,
how
what's up?
hectic the street is and how crazy this guy's driving. I know that motor
Okay.
unit is
His tires look
Is
good.
this something happening? Oh, he's backing up.
Except that one on the back
Seems to be
just
getting
looking for
even.
any
might be a spare
more
tire.
desperate.
Like it looks like it
Look at
doesn't have the same rim.
Yeah, very panicked, very kind of just trying to kind of flying by the seat of their pants about how to get through this traffic. And now you can see they are definitely kind of keeping their distance right here, out again with weapons drawn. But you can tell the suspect just getting extremely agitated in all this traffic. But what do you expect?
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
It's fast?
It's
Okay.
5:30 on a Friday. This is definitely what you're going to be finding pretty much anywhere you go.
Mike, how long have police been chasing this suspect? Do we know what time this all
Was
started?
wandering
Let's see, it started out in
downtown
the
a
Camarillo
bit.
area, and I would say
Yeah, I've been good.
on the right side of your screen, that's
No
that close call
complaints.
we just saw as they went through Hawthorne and Lennox. But Chauncey, I'm going to say probably about 45 minutes. I would say by the time they got from Camarillo.
Why is he
all
just
the way to
stopped
where we
here?
are
Is he just
now
waiting
here
for
in
the light
Inglewood.
to turn, I guess?
So yeah, it's been going for a while. Ventura's County Sheriff's helicopter was up over it. It was that Black Hawk actually that followed it all the way through down to the 405 before the LAPD ship came in and took over.
How much
But, yeah,
gas
it's
he got
been-
left?
I mean,
That's a
it's been
good
going
question.
for a
Maybe he
while
has
now.
zero, man. That's
and
why
it's
he's
busy
here.
on the 101 freeway southbound as well, coming from Camarillo at this time of day. There's no
I mean, I
question
think he's
about
just
that.
waiting for the
Yeah,
light to
pretty much
turn.
anywhere that he has chosen to go, he has run into this.
There's
kind of
cops
heavy
back there
traffic. Even the
now.
surface streets around
They're
the
on
airport,
him now.
and into Inglewood are always kind of busy as well.
And he exited
That's a
off
cop on that
La Tierra.
motorcycle.
That's the first time that we saw him on surface streets, and now he has continued around the Inglewood
Yo,
area.
thank you for
managed
following.
to get very, very close to LAX at one point, as Desmond said, but, you know, he was almost close
He's
to the
going back on the
approach.
freeway.
Then made a turn.
I'm back on the freeway.
Now, is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Eastbound 105, it looks like, and this is going to be just probably
Not
as
very
bad
fuel efficient. Yeah,
as
it can't
the,
possibly
405
be.
was, maybe even worse. This section here is, if they're going to continue, yep.
This is a
should take
questionable
us to
decision.
The eastbound 105, it's really, really
It's a
wide.
really long ramp.
Lane right here, really long. Super long on
Jesus says you're supposed to take the train tracks,
we're probably going
right?
to see more of that shoulder driving because there is always a lot of
I've seen it.
traffic
I
stacked
saw a
up on the eastbound
motorcycle once
105,
try to ride on
especially trying to get through the 110,
on the
which is
train
what we're gonna
tracks
be
during a
approaching,
chase.
but,
Oh, there's a cop right
so
behind
now
you.
the
now.
CHP, well,
Yep,
they
back
are
ours
right
now.
there with the cruiser. This is the closest that we've seen them here. So let's see how the suspect
Okay.
handles this big bout of LA traffic here, eastbound 105, coming out of South LA and Hawthorne.
It's
Interesting,
10.
he
What's
hasn't
up?
made a move to go in traffic. He's staying in that. Well, there, as soon as I said it. there he
Whoa,
goes.
whoa,
That was
whoa.
Yeah,
That's reckless.
yeah.
And Mike, when we talk about a suspect
close
assault
one
with a deadly, weapon, talk about that situation again. You said something
Thank you
might
for
have happened
following.
as they were trying to get away. Some kind of interaction with deputies.
Yeah, so assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer is what they were originally telling us this was about, and it was because of some kind of run-in with responding deputies. Usually, 99% of the time during these chases, it's because the suspect car hit a patrol car or a sheriff's car, and the vehicle itself is considered the deadly weapon. So
Kenny, you don't have my
obviously,
permission to get your hair cut.
we're working on to figure out the extent of that collision, but we don't see any huge major damage to the suspect car. So in theory, the crash probably wasn't too severe, but if he used that to try to get them out of the way or anything like that, that's when he gets those charges upgraded to assault with a deadly weapon.
And this is what we're talking about, upgraded charges, even from the grand theft, of course, and now you add that.
Yeah.
And felony evading, reckless driving.
Yeah.
So whoever this person is and whoever's with them, maybe they know that when they do get caught.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if there was a retail task force that was onto these guys, they may have, I mean, grand theft is obviously a non-violent crime, and the ADW charge very quickly escalated it to a violent crime. If they ultimately get charged by that one,
Car can't go forever,
But,
Mystical. That's
felony
true.
evading, felony assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer, and grand theft is a felony.
Over cashes. You're right.
imagine
You're
if
right.
that's your
3D
car.
cashed. Okay.
And you're
Let's
watching this,
do
seriously.
that.
Now, I do want to be clear, though. We have not heard that the car is stolen.
If you
The
took
plates, they haven't
more
run
on
plates
the
saying
chat
stolen or
chase
anything
less
like
than 30
that. The
minutes,
want was the
you were
grand theft
correct.
from the store. They allegedly stole enough merchandise from the store, which is what kicked into the grand
Got
theft.
it. All right.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they stole the car.
Okay, now we're going to
We
do
haven't heard
45.
that yet. I mean, I don't know if
Predictions
they've
up
gotten close enough to run a
again.
plate to figure out if it's stolen or not with the way this guy's driving. But yeah, the grand theft, we were told it was coming from the theft from the store.
And if that is your car, though, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a nice vehicle.
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
you're just taking these chances and backing up with officers, exchanging paint with other vehicles. Well,
And
that tends to make me think that.
Not to mention,
that's
if
not
this
his
is the suspect's car, it very likely will be impounded and they'll lose it after all of this.
All right. The damage here on the car, do we know if that is for sure from that run-in with police? Because it looked like just a discoloration of the bumper.
I mean, he's been
almost
able
like
to keep
it,
moving here. Like, the
was getting ready
traffic's
for
bad, but I don't
paint
know.
job or something,
It's
or
not
maybe
that bad, I
an
guess.
accident
He somehow
before.
just keeps moving.
On the 110.
I'm not sure
I mean,
what
it's-
the point
it's a
of
little
any
bit
of
hard
this
to tell,
is.
obviously, because we didn't see it happen. But when you look at the front, it does look like there on the top hood there's some stuff missing. It looks like there's also a wire.
He
or a
replaced the
rope or
bumper,
something
did about,
hanging out
yeah, I
the front of it, so
assume.
it's hard to tell.
I mean, it
Guys,
doesn't
are we
look that
transitioning
cool to
freeways?
me, so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we are. We're going to the southbound 110 now.
Oh, Kenny, you're sitting in your
so,
car.
Yeah, hugging that right-hand shoulder.
You were
as
already
saw
in
again
your
what
car?
They were doing there on the freeway. Just wondering, if, it's just very risky for the suspect. When we talk about it, and we actually watched it happen in a recent pursuit where they're driving on the right-hand shoulder, and they end up, running into some debris or something that punctures a tire, and then they ended up, basically spike stripping themselves.
We
So,
got 3 streams
we
at least
dealing with
for
a little
now.
bit
That's
of
good.
Space stuff right here. But
This
trying to
one's
get,
not doing the best
better
right
shot
now,
for you here as
so
we're southbound on the 110. This is going to be a much
possibly
more wide open
switch,
roadway.
but
So now we're really going to see probably the capability of this car.
don't
and how
love
fast
the way
and how
that
risky
ABC
this
presents
suspect wants to
chases.
be. This section of the
Don't
110
love it.
southbound from here towards the ports this time of the day is
At
pretty
least not today.
free and clear, certainly compared to what we were dealing with on the 405 and the 105, and you can see we're up to about 90 miles an hour here.
Damn,
all kinds
okay.
of lanes.
That's on our bingo
So
card.
Still, now, the danger has been amplified once again.
Yeah, the viewers are, if you're just turning in, we're watching this yellow Mustang, and it was the subject of a grand theft that happened at a Target store in Ventura County. This person, this driver, is also now wanted for
It's going
assault
over
with a deadly
100
weapon
now, man. He's
after
gonna lose it.
apparently bumping into sheriff's deputies.
Doesn't look
vehicle
like he
while
has
they were
great
trying
control
to
over this
pursue
thing
him or
sometimes.
Have him stop, but he did not. He continued on the 101 South.
Yeah, Shy Girl
405
Kim,
South
could we
to
get you on
105,
the
and now
on
he's
the
the southbound
stream snipe
110.
or
We
something?
did see him exit at La Tierra Boulevard, where he remained in the area of Inglewood around LAX for
The
quite
spare
some
tire's
time,
gonna
but,
get. I have a
then
feeling you're right.
Got back on the freeway trying
It's
to
on the
make an
passenger
escape, and
side, right, the
we
back
haven't really
one.
Seen a lot of action in terms of law enforcement because
Whoa, we gotta hit the
probably as
brakes
crazy as this
hard
person was
right now.
driving, they had to back off for a while on the ground and been following from the air.
Come on, man.
And,
There's no.
he is,
All
okay,
right.
now he touched paint there,
forcing
looks
his
like
way
it.
through.
Okay.
He's squeezing, trying to squeeze.
That's pretty
this
unnecessary.
traffic.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be making contact here.
Yep.
And,
No
you
need
can
to
see
be a
just
dick like that.
Clearing the vehicles out of their
It's just
way
not
here.
very cool.
Off the freeway at Redondo Beach
Okay,
Boulevard.
this
We're gonna
cop
get
is
right back on. Oh,
getting
CHP
on
almost
him,
setting up like
but
they
he's
wanted to
driving.
pit
He's
him
gonna
here, but unfortunately
hit
just
the gas.
Too fast now. way
Oh,
too
he's losing his
fast
tire.
to 60
Yeah, he's
miles
losing
an
that
hour.
tire.
That's really going to be a problem. Actually, oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
dude, you
Oh,
can't
and
drive on the
tire.
shoulder that much. Oh, that
Losing
looks
a
bad.
tire.
This is gonna
Yep,
end.
They lost the rear tire, probably from what I was talking about. Driving on the shoulder, probably picking up some debris or something like
Man,
that.
that
So
thing
now
is
we're down
spinning.
to tire.
Oh man, he's not gonna be able to
You can see
drive
stuff
fast
flying
now.
all over the place. It's starting to actually damage the vehicle.
Yeah.
The rubber is just flailing all over. So
It's gonna go-
and
yeah,
this
I
is
don't know
a
about
rear-wheel
this.
drive car as well. So that's very problematic.
It's a
for
wrap, probably.
this suspect. So let's see how they're going to handle
Yeah,
this. So they're still
it
going to try
is.
to drive crazy now, down at least one tire.
He needs to lose the tire, and then he can
yeah,
maybe
look at it.
speed
It's
up.
crazy, all the damage.
Fire
that's
incoming?
done,
Maybe.
underneath. Well, did they,
It looks bad.
Now I'm wondering if this was almost looks like a spike strip, doesn't it, Mike? Like sticking out underneath.
Yeah, kind of. I'm trying to go back and look at the video and see if I can notice any of that. It's
Is
also,
it?
you can see the black that's all around the rim there. It looks like that's the tire shredded, but still attached and spinning.
Yeah, I
So
don't
can't
know.
tell if
Maybe
it
it's a spike
popped
strip,
out some of the
but I
undercarriage,
kinda
and that's
doubt
what's
it.
laying down under there. If that,
There's that.
Yeah,
this
it's not
thing
a-
is back on the
it's just
right-hand
like
side
some part of the
your
car,
screen
right?
where you could see him really
Stop
trying
showing
to
this freaking
squeeze through
replay.
all of that traffic. CHP right behind him, and
Please
as
stop
Desmond and
with
Mike,
the replay.
you wonder if,
Okay,
if
what
there
are these
was a
other-
spike strip,
all right, I'm gonna
where would
switch
it
us.
have happened?
Yeah,
'Cause this is
I'm trying
not
to play some of
working
that
for
back
me.
right now and see if I see where he hit anything.
Oh wait, they're
or-
back to not showing replay. Okay,
And
whatever.
he drove a lot on the shoulder, so I mean, that damage could also happen from that without the spike strips.
Yeah, I think it was just because he's driving on
Because
his
I
shoulder.
don't
Eventually,
see-
that
I don't
that,
see
Well,
that
he's
gets
really
you.
ragged now. He's
He's slowing down a
almost
lot.
like, is he slowing down, Desmond? It looks like
These
it.
are they're gonna pit him or something.
A little bit here. So we're
Oh,
on
this is
that
gonna
last stop
be
of the
it.
westbound 91 that turns
Yeah.
into Artesia Boulevard as we get into Gardena. And
No.
now onto the right-hand shoulder of that street. But yeah, I mean, we've got
Oh boy.
this car's got a lot of issues now.
A lot
and,
of
Just
issues.
look at all of that stuff.
All right,
Okay,
they're
yeah,
out.
and running, or not running
not
yet,
running.
but it looks like they want to get out.
Okay.
And I think they're just going to surrender.
Okay.
All right. After all of that,
Probably a
it
good
looks
move.
like we are going to see the two suspects
Probably a good
surrender.
move.
They realize just
Okay.
how
Well, the
dangerous
cops
that
are
was
right there
getting
already.
with that tire. They didn't want anything else to do with this. And so now we have the two people abruptly being taken into custody after that dangerous pursuit at the height of rush hour.
Congrats to
traffic
the people
across
who said
Ventura
no.
and LA County. Coming to an end
Predicted
here
no.
right at the end of the westbound 91, where the 91 turns into Artesia Boulevard. CHP taking these two suspects into custody.
So there you
And of
go.
course, they're going to check the vehicle
And
for any other, not just damage, but check the trunk and see what could possibly be inside. And as far as we know right now, they were still wanted for that grand theft and assault with a deadly weapon. And law enforcement certainly doesn't
The
look too
cops
happy
already
right
having
now.
like just kind of a calm
Considering-
conversation with the dude.
Right, and when we
Like
talk
I don't know,
about
you just don't see this.
all the accusations that have
the way
it's
it's strange the way this ended.
Suspects and the
Kenny,
chase
if
and
your
all of
barber's
that,
still open,
when
I guess it's
what's
time.
happened here? You think they thought they could really get away when you spend so much
Drive
time
safe.
chasing them? Then it ends right here in a
You
few
know-
seconds.
Okay, I was going to ask Desmond or Mike, though. You see how they separated them?
Yeah.
Is that normal for them to just, if it's more than one suspect, to have one?
It's all of
so
this
they
is
know what
unusual.
the other one is saying?
Just
Yeah,
saying.
because they're going to want to interview them about, who knows what.
Man,
and
that
the
tire's
passenger,
jacked up.
in a lot of situations, will try to say, "Oh, I didn't know anything. I was just in the car."
Okay. All right. Well, Desmond.
Yeah.
All right, Desmond, thank you. All right,
Vote
guys.
for Gardino.
All right. Thanks so much, Desmond.
Should we raid out of
and
here?
Mike. We're going to move on here.
Thanks
We
to
have more
everybody on
news this
YouTube.
hour.
Tonight, the LA Fire Department arresting a serial arson suspect.
Okay, whatever. All right. Over already. I mean, we got like 40 minutes of content on this. It's pretty good. That was a good one. Might as well talk. Yeah. All right. Do you guys like Crispy Jenny? We're going to raid her again. I need you to show out in the chat. Make me look good. I'm a big Crispy Jenny simp. Yeah, quick. All right, so if I go live again tonight, it's because there's a police chase. So what I want you to do in the event of that, there's crazy solar flares going on, so it's going to happen, okay? I predict it's going to happen. In the event of that, come back here, and we'll do this all over again. Have you tried that redirect? I have not tried that yet, because the main thing, Dimitri, I don't even know who to redirect to on a YouTube stream. Like, I just don't know who to do it to. So anyway, copy this raid message. Stick around for a second, all of the Twitch people. Say hello to Jenny. All right. See you later.